Hi. Hi, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm eating a cookie. How are you? Mm. I'm just waiting for some more people to come in. I'm good. I'm good. My grandbaby's still in the hospital. Um it's not serious, but I'm from, yes, Brooklyn. Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Yeah. Where are you from? I've well, I have an accent. You know, it's crazy because I had moved to. Oh, you from Virginia? I have a cousin in Virginia, but I had moved to Atlanta in 2005, and I was there from 2005 to 2008, and everybody there thought I had an accent, and I'm looking at everybody else like y'all the one with the accent, not me. It was weird, but yeah, I wanted to have some grown up conversation because I watch everybody's videos and we all talk about our family life and oh, the New York, the New York accent. I don't know. To me, I don't seem to have one, but I guess everybody has an accent from where they're from. Hello, your pleasure. 721. What's up? Um, Yeah, so we always talking about our kids. We talk about grocery shopping. We talk about um, cleaning the house and stuff like that. But we don't have grown up conversation. Like leave the kids out of it, the house out of it. And just have some grown up conversation. I mean, we're all grown here, so we could have some grown up talk. I get tired of talking about the kids, and sometimes I need to have a grown up conversation just to clear my head. Sometimes, you know. So that's what this is about. Just to have some grown up conversation. You know. I mean, we're more than just housewives and mothers. You know. So that's what this is about. You know, your pleasure is hello, Marlene Campbell. How you doing? Um, your pleasure is actually the one that suggested Wow to me, and I appreciate her for that because I was introduced to a very nice group of women, caring women. Everybody's concerned about each other. They check up on each other and make sure, everybody's doing good. And I love that type of community. So I thank you very much, your pleasure, for introducing me to this group. Um, I know I don't, I'm not on in the group as much like as far as the conversation. I get in every now and then and I say hello to everyone and stuff like that. It's only because it's so much going on in my home life on a daily that I rarely get to come in and talk to everybody. So I guess in a way, this is my way of getting to know everybody, and we can open up to each other. But I wanted to speak a little bit about um, relationships. My husband and I was talking. Thank you. I wanted to speak about me and my husband was talking the other day, and he was saying, why is it that women expect the man to initiate? Yes, yes, your pleasure did refer to me. Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate her for that because she didn't have to do that, and I thank her for that because you all are a bunch of beautiful women, caring women, and honest, and I love that. It's hard to find uh, women, stand up women, you know. And I'm not one. I don't have a lot of friends because I find that most women that I meet, um, hi, my hair journey, how you doing? Most women that I meet don't have the same values that I have and loyalty that I have, and I wind up finding out down the line that they wasn't real friends. And so I usually keep to myself. It's usually me and my husband or my sisters or my mother and my cousins, but I don't usually have too many female friends outside of my family. And it's sad, but I'm a very loyal person. I'm a very honest person, and if I like you, I like you. Oh, okay. I'm a very loyal, honest person, and I love people. I love people. I love to have fun. I love to party. I love to travel as much as I can when I can. Um, yeah, facts. I'm not the type of person that likes to. I don't really like to sit still. I'm always looking. Me and my husband, we're like two peas of a pod. I mean, we both like to do things. We like to ride our bikes and stuff like that. He has a motorcycle, and I go. I get on the back of his motorcycle with him, and we go riding. He is in a bikers club, and he's the co-president or what have you, and or vice president. And back in the day, I used to be in the group also. Hi, life of like what is that? OFP. How you doing? You have to excuse me because I don't have on glasses and my eyes ain't what they used to be. Yeah, so we was in the biker club, and I was the president of the social club for the females, and and we used to do a lot of things. We used to do the Toys for Tots on Christmas and stuff like that. We used to take the toys to the kids in the hospitals and stuff like that. And um, my husband and I dressed up as Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and we drove around giving gifts to my family members, the kids in my family. We wanted to do the hospitals and stuff like that, but because of COVID, the hospital said they didn't want us coming up to the hospital giving kids toys because of the COVID. They was trying to, you know, and I understood that. So because we couldn't do that, my husband and I decided to just give gifts to the kids in the family. So we really dressed up and we went around Manhattan and took pictures with people in the street. They were stopping us and taking pictures and stuff. So we do a lot of stuff like that. And we like to go roller skating, bike riding, ice skating. And like I said, we like to travel. We like to do a lot of picnics and stuff like that. We're very active. And hopefully this summer we will be going camping because I done bought everything that we need for camping. We've never did it before, and we've never done it before, but he's always wanted to go camping, so I told him I would try it. I told him as long as we don't wake up to some raccoons or something like that, I'm all for it because I'm scared of bugs. I'm scared of bugs, and if a caterpillar or something like that fall on my hand or my shoulder, I'm gonna lose it. But I told him I will try it, and if it's nice and I enjoy it, then we could do it every year. And um, I like swimming. I love I love to swim. I love to swim. I love the water, and so does my husband. Um, we like to go to amusement parks, and but I don't. Oh yeah, you've watched a lot of movies about camping. Have you ever went camping? Oh, it was a little scary to you. Ooh, I mean, how so? How so was it scary? Was it just being out in the open like that, or was it the darkness or the sounds? Hello, Just Cherise. How are you? Oh, I oh yeah, Coney Island is that's just like going to the grocery store for us. I mean, everybody that lives in Brooklyn or around Brooklyn, Staten Island, Long Island have been to Coney Island. I don't get on any rides at Coney Island because to me, the rides are old and they rarely fix them rides. So basically, us Brooklynites and stuff like that, we look at Coney Island as just like a hangout spot. It's just somewhere you go to hang out, meet up with your friends. Um, a lot of people go there to eat and stuff like that, but majority of the time they just put the kids on the little rides and stuff like that. But to be honest, the only people that get on the rides at Coney Island are tourists, people that's coming from out of state that heard about Coney Island. They get on rides, but people that live here don't get on rides at Coney Island because those rides are old, very old, and they're rarely changed or maintenance. So we don't get on rides. But I like going to Coney Island just for the games and the food and Nathan's hot dogs and Nathan's hamburgers and stuff like that. So we'll take a nice little drive to Coney Island for that. Yeah. So yeah, but I no, I would advise anyone that's coming from out of town that goes to Coney Island. I know it's um it's one of the things on most people bucket lists to get on the ride, but I would not recommend it. Um be cautious. I mean, if you choose to go regardless, I would just say hold on tight. Hold on tight because you never know when something's going to break or something like that. But if you want to go just to mark it off your list of things that you did when you visited New York, I would say go play some games, win some stuffed animals, eat some hot dogs. Um, Nathan's is known all over the world as one of the one of the spots for hamburgers and franks and stuff like that, and they're known for their fries. So I would definitely go there, but I just wouldn't get on no rides. And yeah. So and don't go on the beach. The water is disgusting. The water is it's It's really nasty. The water's, it's not like going to Bahamas or something where you could see the water. I mean, the water is mucky, it's dirty, the sand is dirty. Um, there's no way you could go on the beach and not come home with some kind of rash or something like that. I just, it's just not something, we don't do that. I mean, you have a lot of people, honestly, from Jersey and stuff like that, that will go on the beach. You don't get on rides. I don't blame you. I used to, at Great Adventure, I would get on rides. I went to King's Dominion one time, in Virginia, and I got on rides. But as I got older, I don't, I mean, I will get on water rides, but those thrill rides and stuff like that, at Dorney Park and stuff like that, I can't do it no more. Yeah, I don't even know if my heart would be able to handle the stress of, because them rides, they go up and they go up so steep, and then when they come down, it's crazy. Yeah, the Mexican food is good. Oh, you live near King's Dominion? Oh, that's nice. Do you go there often? Because I know a lot of people that live close by amusement parks don't really visit the amusement parks that much. I think I would be there. I would be there on a regular if it was me. Because soon as the summer hit, I'd be up in there if I live close, taking the kids or the grandkids or whatever. I've been to Disney World. Oh no, you didn't go. Oh, okay. I would be there all the time. I mean, I love amusement parks. I just can't handle the rides anymore. I used to be a thrill seeker when I was younger. I mean, there wasn't a ride that I wouldn't get on back in the days. But when you get older, you start seeing your life flash before your eyes, and it's like, nope, I'm okay. I'm good. I don't need the thrill of all of that. I'll watch y'all get on it and have fun. Disney World, I love Disney World. We only went once. We only went once. It was in 2008. And my husband promised our kids that he would, if all of them got promoted and graduated, that he would take them to Disney World. So they did what they were supposed to do, and we went to Disney World. We was there for, I think, 7 days. And I think it was the we had 2 more days in Disney, and my kids was ready to go home because my husband was so excited that he was able to get them there. That, yeah, okay, it's all right. Um, he was so happy that he was able to do this for his kids that he pushed us. Come on, let's go, let's go. He had us racing around that park. I had callus on my feet. I had callus. The kids had callus. We was exhausted. We took some family pictures. We took some family pictures, and nobody was smiling. Everybody looked so drained and exhausted in the picture. And he was just, he was so excited. I felt bad. He was so excited, but he pushed us and, come on, y'all gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up. I want to go over here. Let's go over here. I want to show y'all this. I want to, because as a kid, he went every year with his family. So he wanted to give his kids the same experience he had when he was young. But my kids were over it. Like, we had 2 more days in Disney, and he was like, come on, y'all, you want to go to a park? And it was like, can we just go home? Oh, you're 7 hours away? That's still a nice, that's a nice little ride out there. I wish I was that close, because I'm telling you, I would be. But we're close to We're close to Dorney Park. Dorney Park is like an hour and a half away from where I live. And Great Adventure is like around the same distance, about an hour and a half away. 14 hours? Woo. 14 hours. Whoa, that's around the same distance it takes us to drive from here to Atlanta. Because my husband can get to Atlanta in 12 hours. 12:20? Okay, good night. Have a good night. Um, so anyway, like I said, y'all, I that's a little bit about me. Um, I wanted to speak to y'all. I wanted to ask you a question because me and my husband was discussing intimacy the other night, and he knows that I'm going to talk about this because I told him I wanted to bring this subject up. And he said, because usually when we're intimate, it's usually always him that initiates, you know, um, I'm going to say foreplay or whatever. And he feels that, you know, women should have, a say in that as far as the man shouldn't have to initiate it all the time. Like, um, sometimes it should be left up to us to initiate when we want to be intimate. And I don't have a problem with that. The only thing is, well, it's not really a problem, but the only thing is that usually from the time me and my husband started dating, and I'm 53, he's 54, and we've been together since I was 15, he was 16. Um, but usually when we were intimate, he always initiated it. And that's how I knew that he wanted intimacy because he initiated it. So sometimes I have the feeling like, I don't, it's like I want to know that my husband is into me at that moment by him initiating it. Because a lot of times I feel like when sometimes women will come on to a man, and sometimes, men, they'll take it whether they really wanted it or not. They're not going to turn it down majority of the time. So I just feel like I want to know that when me and my husband are intimate, that that's what he really want at that time. I don't want to feel like, okay, he wasn't into it until I came to him. You know, I want to know that when we're together, we're both on the same vibe. I don't want to feel like, oh yeah, he'll take it because I'm offering it to him. But did he really want it in the first place? So because this has been the dynamic from day one with us, I've gotten used to it. So now, he's feeling like, babe, I would, the same way you want to know that I'm into you in that moment, I want to feel the same thing. So, I would like you to show some initiative towards me that you, yeah, we do. And that's the problem. I'm so caught up in, yeah, but I don't want him. I don't want him because, or I want him, but I want him to show me that he want me before, because I don't want to look stupid and I'm, coming on to him. Even though we're married, we still want to know that our men desire us, all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. He's always like touchy feely all the time. Like sometimes I have to be like, babe, calm down, leave me alone. But there's times where I'm not sure what he's feeling. Men are we wear our hearts on our sleeve. And we're always showing our men or a majority of women, I can't speak for all women, so I'll speak for myself. I'm always showing him attention one way or the other. So he telling you to relax. That's cute. That's cute. I like that. I'm always, when my husband's sitting down, I'll come up and I'll hug him. I'll kiss him on his neck, like you do babies and stuff like that. I do that to him and stuff like that. And he does a lot of touchy feely too. But a lot of times I don't know when he's in the mood. I'm not really sure. So a lot of times he when he initiates, that's when I know, okay, so he really wants me because he's initiating, he's really coming to me, this, that, and the third. And he feel like, well, babe, I feel the same way. Like there's times where I wish you would come to me. And I never thought that he looked at it that way. I thought it was just me wanting the attention from him. So I just look at men are men. They when they want something, they go after it. And I'm just like, I just look for men to be the aggressor in the relationship. If they want it, they're gonna go after you for it. So when he doesn't approach me like that, a lot of times I sit back and I wonder, oh, he don't want me. Because if he did, because what man would turn down, or I'm sitting right here and he's not attacking me, so he must not want me, you know. You gonna let him know? We're talking and cooking with Net. We're talking about intimacy and a female role in um, foreplay. Should we initiate it sometime, or do we leave it up to the man to do, all the grabbing and coming forth and all of that, And my husband and I were discussing how men feel the same way that women do. Like they want the woman to initiate sex too, because it lets them know that she wants him as well. So we were just discussing, and I never knew that he felt that way. I always thought that when a man wanted, he's just going to go after it. I never thought that he's thinking the same way. Yeah, does depend. Do what he's asking to do. Well, that's the thing. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to, because I didn't know that that's how he felt. All the years that we've been together, he's never said to me that he would like me to initiate it, you know? And so I just thought that, with men being men and who they are, when a man wants it, he always goes after it. And that's how I always looked at it. So when he don't come at me, I just assume he don't want it, not knowing that he's sometimes waiting for me to come at him, So I'm going to start I'm going to start getting a little more aggressive, because it's not that I don't desire my husband, because I do. But I just always, because he's the man, I always look for him to come at me, you know? And all this time, I didn't know that he wanted the same thing. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Men come off so, rugged and that I never thought, oh, they have a sensitive side to them, which I know they do, but it's very rare that men show a sensitive side to them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I look for him to take the lead all the time. And there's times where he's wanting me to take the lead. He wants to be wanted and desired. just like I do. But see, I never knew that. Yeah, it's rare. It's rare. I never knew that about. He's never ever discussed that with me before. He's never told me that he would like me to initiate, because I have no problem with it, but I just thought that the man is the one that like to be in charge all the time. They want to initiate the sex. They want to initiate the foreplay and stuff like that. Because my husband has this thing where I melt, because he grabbed me around my waist and he pulled me up tight, and he'd kiss me on my neck or whatever. Yeah. And he does this, and I love that about him. I love when he grabbed me up and hold me tight and stuff like that. But I didn't know he wanted the same thing. I just thought that he's, as a man, he's going to be the aggressor. Yeah. And that's the thing. He doesn't like, when I want to talk to him about certain things, he's like, babe, I don't want to talk about that. Or we good. You ain't gotta, I'm good, I'm happy with what we got going. And I'm not saying we're not happy, yeah, but if there's something you want from me, how am I supposed to know if you're not telling me? All these years, I didn't know that he wanted me to be aggressive and come at him sometime, that he would like to be desired and wanted in the same way that I do. I never knew that because he never talked to me about it before. So the other night, we just had, what happened is, let me explain how this conversation started. We were playing that game. It's a game of cards that I bought online, and you read the card to your partner, and he has to answer the questions. And one of the questions was, who do you like, do you like to initiate sex, or do you want your partner to initiate sex? And when I picked a card, it was, he had to answer it, and he said, I would like for you to initiate sex sometime. Now I never knew that. If we didn't have them cards and we wasn't playing the game, I wouldn't have knew that. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to look stupid. And I've had that happen though. Not in my marriage, but in my past relationship before my husband. I came on to my boyfriend, and uh, he just like basically ignored me, and I felt real stupid, and so it made me not want to do that again, because I put myself out there, and I was made to look like an idiot, and he looking at me, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm kissing you?" Or he was like, "Nah, don't do that." And I'm like, I didn't understand. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? And I think I, what they call it, emasculated him or what have you, and because I was coming on to him, and I guess he felt like he's the man, and he's supposed to come on to me. So when I, initiated it and went after him, I think that made him feel less than a man, because I was being the aggressor. So so after that, I just didn't do it anymore. I'm like, all right, so I mean, if you want to take charge, if that's how men are, they have this thing about being in charge, then I'll let you be in charge. You're the aggressor. Go ahead, girl. I'm not mad at you. That's the only way you're gonna get it. Sometimes you got to be the aggressor. Sometimes you just got to take what you want. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some guys, they like the woman being aggressive. For some men, it's a real turn on to see, because a lot of men don't get to see that side of their woman. That aggressiveness, and that I want you, type of feeling, like to where you ripping their clothes off and stuff like that. And I think it's for some men, it's a real turn on, because it lets them know just how much that woman is desiring him at that point in time. Because I just feel like men needs reassurance too, to know that after all these years, yeah, communication is key. Men need to know, just like a woman, that after all these years of us being together, you still desire me as you did when we first got together. And I think that's why, most men love when a woman is aggressive with him, because it just, that intensity just shows him, wow, after all these years, she still gets this turned on by me, to where she's ripping my clothes off. And it's a turn on for him, because most men, now that I know, most men want that same feeling of desire a woman has for him, because I know if it's been like a week and my husband hasn't tried to, attack me, I'm feeling like something ain't right. Like he hasn't tried to grab me or nothing. I'm not, mind you, the man works like 12 hours a day. He comes home, he's tired, this, that, and the third. And then when he comes home, he does stuff around the house. So it's like, instead of me just assuming maybe the man is tired, right away I go to, oh, he don't want me because he ain't grabbing me. It's been a week and he ain't grab on me and nothing like that. But it's crazy. But I just wanted to talk about that, because I didn't know, you know, am I the only female that feels like, they would rather the man be the aggressor? I mean, don't get me wrong, I can be very aggressive. I mean, I can be aggressive to where it makes his head spin. But I just always assumed that that was just something a man does, and we just accept it and love it. But now that we played this game, and now that I know, I'm gonna start being more aggressive with him, and I want to see how he reacts to it and what he feels about it and stuff like that. And I hope he likes what I got to bring to him, because I'm telling you, once I start, I ain't gonna stop. But yeah, I would love to take charge and show him what I'm made of. Show him what tricks up my sleeve and stuff like that. You know, and this will give me a chance to branch out and have some thoughts. You know, I might wind up scaring myself. I don't want to get too aggressive. I wind up scaring him. Uh, but anyway, though, yeah. So this is just, I like these conversations. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do. You know what? You know what? His birthday is coming up. His birthday is in April, next month. And I was thinking about going to either the Poconos. We've never been to the Poconos. We've been to Atlantic City 1,001 times. Um, so I was thinking about, for his birthday, to take him either to the Poconos and Atlantic City, and once I get there, I can just really go crazy. Like, I can. You know what? I was thinking about doing the same thing, because one Valentine's Day I had did this room. If y'all ever go to my playlist, I have a video of how I decorated this room up for Valentine's Day for him. Because women, we always get Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was, let's be honest, was made for us. So I wanted him to experience what Valentine's Day is for us. I wanted him to see that, because he's never had anyone do anything for him for Valentine's Day. And I just said, at least once, I want him to know what it feels like. Your approach is soft and gentle. Yeah, that's a good one. My husband is more attack mode. He's he's very aggressive. He's very he's not aggressive to the point where I'm in danger or anything like that. he's aggressive, and um he likes to grab me. He likes to be rough at times. And okay, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, tend to your husband. Um, he's very aggressive, and but you know what? It's crazy. He's very aggressive, but he's very gentle with me. Like when he touched me and he holds me as if I'm a brand new baby. Like if he think I'm gonna break or something. But he, it's funny because he's gentle and aggressive at the same time. It's hard to describe, but the combination is it's a beautiful combination because I feel secure, I feel loved, but I feel like a woman in his arms. And I have he has me going through all these different feelings at once, and I love that. But we leave the making love for Christmas, Valentine's Day, honeymoon, or just, I don't know, just some nights when he just can't get me off his mind. He'll come home and he be in this really romantic mood. But other than that, it's rugged. I mean, and one thing I love about him, he's not a what they call a quick draw McGraw. Like we can literally be in here for hours. I'd be exhausted. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd be exhausted. He'd be like, "Oh, don't get tired, cause we ain't finished." And I'd be like, "What?" I'd be like, "Nah, you kidding me? You got to be kidding me." He was like, "No, I'm not kidding you. Don't get there. I hope he go get you something to drink or whatever, because we meeting right back here in 5 minutes." There's times where, Lord, but anyway, I think I'm gonna either take him to Atlantic City or the Poconos for his birthday, and I'm gonna show a side of myself that he's never seen before. I'm gonna become his I'm gonna become his every fantasy, which I already am, but with a little extra on the side. You know what, my sister, I have my wigs, but every now and then I will wear a blonde wig, or a wig with a bang, or a red wig or something like that. And my sister was like, um, why do you switch up like that? I said, because I want to become my husband's every fantasy. You want a redhead? Well, here you go. You want a blonde? Well, here you go. You want your Chinese woman? Well, ching chong, here you go. I'm gonna be your every fan, any woman you could have ever wanted in your lifetime before you met me. I'm gonna become her. So you'll never want for a blonde, a brunette, a redhead, because I'm gonna become all of that for you, you know. And I said to my sister, I said, men have fantasies too, just like women have fantasies. And maybe these fantasies have never been carried out. Like when they was younger, they always wanted to date a school teacher, or when a lot of men were young, they always fell in love with their teachers. So I got a little teacher's little outfit, that I will wear for him, and he loves it. You might maybe he wanted to date a cowgirl. I'll get a cowgirl outfit. And it's you have to become your husband's or your partner's every fantasy. You got to make them um, want to come home at night. You know what I'm saying? My husband said that he has some friends that cheats on their wives, and they always tell him, "Man, I get tired of the same thing all the time." And he said he don't understand that. I said, because maybe, and I'm not making excuses for these men, because you knew that you wasn't going to be faithful when you married this woman, so you should have just stayed single, and then you could have just did what you want. Why marry this woman and do all of these things and hurt her and all this and that, when you could have just stayed single and did what you want? You could have saw who you want. So I'm not making excuses, but I know that there's a lot of men out here that cheat because their wives, once they get married, they get settled, and they feel like they don't have to dress up for their husbands anymore. They don't have to get sexy anymore. They don't have to cook anymore. They don't have to. It's okay to put on a bonnet and walk around with a scarf on or a robe, but every now and then you have to give your husband a reason to come home. You want him to look forward to walking in that door. When he see you, he don't know what to expect, you know. Because I will let my husband see me in my house coat and the bonnet and the scarf. I'll let him see me like that all week long. And then one day he'll just come home and I got on a nice lingerie and my hair's done, and I'll have his food ready for him, and he be ready to eat and do other things afterwards. And then he looks at me, he's like, Dad, babe, oh my gosh, you so gorgeous. Because you have to remind them that, listen, I know I look like this all the time, but you got to understand, when I fix myself up, I'm gonna be your every desire. And you're not gonna want for anything else, because I'm gonna be everything. I'm gonna be your fantasy, your cowgirl, your school teacher, your Chinese woman, your blonde, your brunette, your redhead, anything that you could ever want in a woman. That's what I'm gonna become for you. And it's good to role play. Keeps the relationship interesting. I don't mind role playing. It's sometimes we sit back and we laugh at the stupid stuff we do when we role play. It's crazy. One time, uh, we went to a bar, and we role played, and he was picking me up from a bar, and I was at the bar and I was drinking. I had a pina colada, and he came over and he asked me, was anybody sitting next to me, and I was like, no. And he started asking me my name and stuff like that, and we just went with the whole thing, and it was so much fun. We had so much. We laughed about it the next day, but when I tell you, when we got home that night, it was, if there was a fly on the wall, they would have had so much to talk about. But it was so much fun. We haven't done that in so long, but it was so much fun, and it was cute. It was fun. It was cute. It was exciting, and it made me feel like we was teenagers again. You know, and we didn't realize how much we enjoyed that. And my mother thought it was the cutest thing she ever seen, and stuff like that. But it was fun. It was really fun. And every now and then you have to do stuff like that. Well, I feel like you have to do stuff like that. You got to keep the relationship interesting. Keep them wanting to come back for more. But I want to ask you, ladies, have any of y'all ever role played, or been in a situation where you wanted to be courted again by your husband or your boyfriend, like if it was the first time, the first date or something like that? Do y'all ever go back to that time and wish you could redo it again and again and again and again? Because it was something that I didn't think I would enjoy, but I really did enjoy that. And I would love to do that again if I got the chance to. We have so much going on right now with the kids and the grandkids and stuff like that, that we haven't had a chance to even think about anything like that. But once things calm down, I would like to revisit that type of stuff. But so how's everybody doing? Anybody else have any stories? Am I the only one? Y'all, I have these cookies that I have from the gender reveal, my daughter's gender reveal, and nobody ate the cookies. And they still individually wrapped up, and I'm eating them. I'm eating them now. Oh, somebody's at my door. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody that did tune in, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Maybe we can have this happen again next week. Maybe it can be one of y'all that have a Friday night grown up conversation and we could tune into y'all. No role playing over there. Oh gosh. Why not? What's wrong with role playing? Have you ever done it, or is this something you just don't want to do, or you don't feel it's necessary, or you just you just haven't done it? Role playing can be fun. It could be exciting. It's it's, it's honestly, you like to role play. It's fun. It's fun, And with role playing, you get to learn a lot about your partner. You get to learn a lot about what they like, what they're interested in, and it honestly can bring you closer to that person. Oh, you just never tried it? If you get a chance to try it, I guarantee you, you would like it. It's different, you know. Sometimes, sometimes you gotta think outside the box. just, just don't ask you to do no weird. I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah, nothing weird. No. Yeah, you after you said that, I got all this crazy stuff going through my head when you said weird stuff. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I'm not doing nothing crazy. I mean, role playing is one thing, but I'm not, you know, we're not doing anything that would have people looking at us like, with their rolling their eyes or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's just sometimes, when you've been with somebody as long as I've been with my husband, because like I said, me and him been dating. We got together. I was 15. He was 16. I'm 53. He's 54. And together we have 4 kids, and we have 6 grandkids now. And um, you know, being together that long, sometimes you want to you want to mix it up, because you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, because then it gets boring. Then it's like, what's next? Is this all there is? So you, you got to keep the relationship blooming and blossoming, and you got to keep him interested, and you want to stay interested. I mean, I love my husband to death. I wouldn't change him for nothing in the world. I'm still in love with him. And, the more we experiment and do things and stuff like that, the more I'm in love with him. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because he's willing to go outside the box to keep things fresh in the relationship. And so am I. A lot of times people will just settle into their relationship to the point where they're no longer attracted to each other. They're just together because that's what they're together. They're married, and it is what it is. So they live together, they pay the bills together, they take care of the kids together. But outside of that, there's, and maybe they have sex every now and then, but there's no real desire for each other, you know, and you don't really see them doing anything together. They're just living their lives with each other and just raising their kids. But between the two of them, they're just going throughout their days like, they're just friends. They're roommates basically. And me and my husband are so much alike. Like, we're so much alike. Everybody thinks that they said that we act like we're still dating. And we are. That's how I look at it. We're still dating. I don't want to get into a situation where I'm comfortable, to the point where I don't need the romance. I don't need him going out and surprising me with flowers and, coming home with perfume for me and, or just coming home and saying, babe, get dressed, I want to go for a night drive and go by the water. Because we do that also. Sometimes he'll come home from work and he'll call me on the phone and be like, I'm on my way home, get dressed. And I'll be like, why, where we going? He'd be like, I want to go sit by the water. We'll sit by the water and he'll just start telling me how beautiful I am and how much he loves me and, and he thanked God for me. And I love those nights, and I do the same with him. But yeah, I'm gonna, I'm, what do y'all think? Should I get some toys? I mean, not for him, but I mean, do you think I should get some toys like some feathers, some handcuffs, clink clink? Uh, should I get some things? Should I go to the grown up store and get some things for his birthday, or should I just play it nice and just come in there with a nice negligee on? Because I was gonna do the negligee anyway. Yes, get some. You got any suggestions? Because I've never been in one of those stores. I've seen stuff online. Your pleasure. I've seen a lot of her stuff, online, but like I really wouldn't know exactly what to get when I'm in there. I've seen, like, I have the rose. I have the rose. I bought the rose for myself for those nights where he's too tired to be bothered and I can't sleep. But I rarely use it because he's on go mode, all the time. So I rarely get the man. How long? 7 seconds. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's the longest. That's the longest. 7 seconds is the longest I was, and I was so shocked. I was so shocked. But yeah, what how I the rose the devil. I I told my sister, yeah, all of my cousins have one. Sierra, you haven't got one yet? You see it all day long, but you haven't got one yet? Girl, if you get one, Lord, your husband, if you're married, he's going to be jealous. Because, whoo, I had to promise myself I wasn't going to use it no more for a while. Let me tell you, the first, I about it because my cousin, you should get one. You should get one. They're about 30 something. Now, I bought my cousin one and I only paid $20 for it on Amazon. And I got her one because all of my female cousins have one. I think the the second to the last one to buy one because I have been hearing about this rose, and honestly, when they was talking about it, I thought they was talking about a real rose. And they was like, "Girl, you got to get you a rose." And I was like, "What's a rose?" And they was like, "You never seen the rose?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" They said, "Girl, let me show you." And my cousin pulled it out of her pocketbook. I was like, "What the hell is this?" She said, "Girl, let me tell you." She said, "The longest I can last is about 10 seconds on this thing." She said, "I'm telling you, if you get it, you'll never look back." So I was like, "I'm gonna try it." And then my other cousins was like, "Girl, go ahead, get you one," because we all got one. And my sister said, she said, "I got one too." She said it sits in her end table in the drawer and it stayed charged. So I bought one. And when I bought one, they wasn't lying. Everything they said, they wasn't lying. I have never got to that point that fast ever. So I almost threw that thing across the room because I looked at that thing and I said, "How dare you come up in here and disrespect my husband like that? How you gonna come up in here and lay up in his room and disrespect him like that?" I put it back in the box and I said, "You got me all the way fucked up." Excuse me, y'all. But that's what I said. When I told my cousins and stuff, when I told my cousins what I said to them, they said, "You crazy." I said, I looked at that thing and I said to them, I said, "You got a lot of damn nerve come up in here in my husband's house, in his bedroom, and gonna disrespect him like that." Oh, you let him use it on? How did he like it? My husband used it on me too. After the first time I used it, he wanted to see what it do because I told him. I said 7 seconds. That's all it took. So he wanted to see for himself. And when he did, I think it made him mad. I really do think it made it. Oh, he. Yeah, you know why? Because they feel like we don't need them when we use it by ourselves. We don't need them, and see that's the problem. They don't want to be. They don't want to feel like they're being replaced. But I mean, it's a rose. It's good for those nights where the man is too tired, or he's not in the mood, so it just takes the edge off. But we would never trade that in for the real thing. Like, they should know that by now. But it's just something to tide us over until he's ready to put in that work. But I really think that he got upset because he has never, yeah, he has never got me to that point that fast. I mean, that was the fastest I ever got to that point. And I think that really messed with his ego. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. Like, whoo. So now if I use it, he was like, "You did? Well, why you didn't wait for me? You couldn't wait for me?" Yeah, I could wait for you, but you ain't get here in time. I could wait, but if I'm in a mood, if it's been a while and you're at work and I gotta wait 6 more hours for you to get home, and I'm in a mood at that point in time, then I'm not going to be able to wait 6 hours. I mean, once you get home, we can continue, but I'm going to need a relief at that moment. And then after that, we can continue and I can get the real thing once you get home. But at that moment, I need some relief so I can get my mind right. Yeah, it probably did mess up. I really do believe it did because his face changed. His, he was standing over me and he was holding it there. And he just had this look on his face like, I can't believe this. He just looked, he kind of looked hurt. He kind of looked hurt and disappointed. Like he didn't expect it to get me to that point faster than he did. So, because I guess he's looking at this as a toy, and when I'm down there, I'm doing my best. I'm working it. I'm going. I'm doing what I do, I'm going to get it there sooner or later. So he's looking at this tiny little thing and it's doing a better job at getting me to that point than he did. And not saying that he can't get me to that point, but just not as fast. I mean, I don't know what it is about that rose. I don't know. But whoever made it loved women. That's all I got to say. Whoever made it loves the hell out of a woman and knows her pressure points and he knows what she likes. I guarantee you it was a man. But he knew what he was doing. And now every time you turn around, they're making they got another one that has another end. I think it's a dildo on the other end of it. To where now it's the rose got the clit and then the dildo is up in there. Yeah, for sure. I believe it. I honestly believe that it was because men are the, when you look at all of these things that's being made sexually, it's always men. It's always men that makes these things. I'm not saying that there's not any women behind the scenes, but majority of these companies are men that are coming up with these ideas for these things for women. And I think that they, it's like they have a secret something. It's like they know something that we don't know. And they know exactly what we need and what we want when we don't half the time until we get it. But that rose is something else. It's something else. And I keep it in the box. It's in my drawer and I keep it in the box and I haven't touched it in a while. And I'm sitting here thinking about it now. But my husband is 8:07 and he'll be getting off of work at 9:30. So I don't have long, so I can wait. But I believe I'm gonna, I have to, as far as the lingerie is concerned, I already, got an idea of, what he likes with that. He likes nearly nothing. He as little as possible. So the lingerie thing is good. It's just as far as like the toys, I know, first of all, I can't come up in there with nothing that, no butt plugs or that like that, because he's not, he first thing he look at me, where the hell you going with that? He's like, shit, I don't know what you thought. You better put that shit back. I don't know where you going with that. Not over here. So, no, we can't do that. So I don't know what else could I get, like a handcuffs, definitely, and maybe some feathers to tickle him a little bit. But I really don't know. Aside from feathers and handcuffs, I really don't know what else I could get to kick things off. because I've never been in one of them stores. So, like I said, everything that I've ever seen as far as toys and stuff like that, I've seen online. So I've never actually walked into one of those stores and seen their inventory. So I really don't know um, what men like as far as that's concerned. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I do know one thing, and this might be a little TMI, but he likes to be scratched. He likes to be scratched, like the nails. I don't know. He's one of those type of pain and pleasure type of people. So I don't know. Maybe I can get a whip and whip the hell out of him. Oh God. Yeah, I might do that. I know there's one. Um, maybe about 20 minutes away from where I live. Because on the way home, when I'm coming from the city, um, nobody wants to cook. Order some Domino's if you have a Domino's near you, or Popeyes. Um, if they have Subway. Yeah, I could go for with Subway. I would love either a tuna fish or a meatball sub. Their meatball subs be good. Plus, it's Friday. It's the weekend. If you cook all week long, save the weekends for takeout. Cause I love some takeout on the weekends. Throw in a movie and get some takeout, some Chinese, or some Wingstop. You know, yeah, tuna subs. I put on my tuna. I put olives, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. I don't put pickles, but I do put cucumbers, lettuce, tomatoes, a little salt, little vinegar, and a little bit of pepper sprinkled on it. And I also like eggs in my tuna salad also. But when they cut the tomatoes, I like the tomatoes kind of thick. I don't like them really thin. I want to be able to taste my tomatoes in my tuna. But today I didn't cook anything today, and nobody's home but me and my granddaughter, and she wanted French fries and hot dogs, so I made her that before I went live. I made her. Yes, yes, I love me some tuna, and I don't even get it that much, but when I do get it, oh my gosh, give me a nice tuna salad and either a nice glass of ice water or a Sprite, and I'm good to go. And that'll hold me all day because um, I had I done said this 1,001 times, but I had the gastric sleeve in 2021, October 2021. I had my husband and we both had it same day. We went to all our doctor's appointments was together. Um, we had our surgery the same day. He had his, I think 3 hours before I had mine. They put us on the same floor together. We couldn't be in the same room together, but they put us on the same floor. And so because of that, can't eat that much. So if I get a 6 a 6 inch sub, I have to cut it in half and split it with my husband because my stomach is too small to even eat that much, you know. But I love me a tuna or the meatball. The meatball subs are good, really good. You know, I've been having a taste for some Cinnabons. I've been really craving them. You know the what is it called? The Cinnabon bakery that you see. You know, I forgot. I don't know if it is it called Cinnabon, but that's what they have. And they Cinnabons. Yeah, I had the sleeve, the gastric sleeve. Me and my husband both had it because, like, right now I'm 241 pounds, but my starting weight before surgery I was 324 pounds, and then I went down to two. No, 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 no. I don't want to. I don't want to make. I went down to 308 from 324 to 308, and at 308 is when I had my gastric sleeve. Okay, had to walk the dog. How many dogs do you have? I had a dog. Ugh, her name was Princess. She was a German Shepherd, and we got her as a baby, and she wound up getting some kind of disease, brain disease, when she got older, and my mother and father had to put her to sleep. Two Yorkies. Ooh, my daughter loved Yorkies. You was looking into the sleeve. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people say, "Oh, you took the easy way out." It's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy because it took me 3 years to finally decide to have the sleeve because I wanted to lose the weight on my own. I kept telling my husband, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to lose this weight. I joined the gym. I joined Curves. I joined Lucille Roberts. I joined Blink. And I joined Planet Fitness. Nothing worked. I was gaining weight like crazy and didn't understand why. And I used to cry all the time because for the life of me, I couldn't understand where this weight was coming from because I don't eat like that. And my husband was like, maybe you need to go to the doctor. Um, yeah, honestly, you drop more weight if you have the gastric bypass than if you have the sleeve. Yeah, that's the problem. I didn't know why I was not losing weight because it's like I was doing the OMAD diet, right? And I don't know if everybody knows what the OMAD is because I didn't know what it was until it was explained. It's called the 1 meal a day diet. So that's what I was doing, and I didn't even know what it was. I was already doing it and didn't even know what it was. But I was eating once a day, you know, and I was working out. I have a treadmill, so I was walking the treadmill, but I wasn't losing weight. I kept gaining, kept gaining. And I used to cry to my husband all the time because I'm like, I'm just getting bigger and bigger, and I just couldn't understand it. And he said, babe, why don't you just go to the hospital or go to your doctor and, let them run some tests. So they did, and they found out that I had thyroid problems. Oh, you're not consistent. It's only two. Yeah, it's a good thing. Because when I was going and I wasn't seeing no results, I stopped going because I was like, it don't make sense. But then I would join another gym, and then, when I wasn't seeing results, then I would stop and then join another gym. And I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy some equipment. I'm gonna work out at home because joining all these gyms, if I'm not gonna see no results, I might as well stay home and work out. But I found out that they ran a lot of blood tests and stuff and found out that I have hypothyroid, um, which means that basically my thyroid is not working, is slow. So there's hyper and hypo. I have hypo. So basically, if you have hyper, your thyroid is, you're constantly burning energy and stuff. Mine's is slow. It's taking its time. It's doing what it want to do. So I gain weight fast, and it's hard for me to lose it. And so my doctor explained to me the average person will lose weight, you know, fairly, fairly rapidly. But with me, it would take me twice as hard to lose the weight that the average person would lose because of the thyroid. And he said, what one thing about the thyroid, your thyroid, is constantly fighting against you. So I have to take medication the rest of my life to keep it controlled, you know. And it's just one pill I take a day, first thing in the morning when with food, and it keeps it controlled, you know. So my doctor had suggested I do the sleeve, and I didn't want to do it. But he told me, he said, at the weight you are and your thyroid issues, he said, if you don't have the surgery, you'll be 400 or bigger by the following year. So when he said that, I was like, what? 400 and who? On whose body? Who carrying that around? 300 is 300 and change is too much. You talk about 4 and change. So I came home. I discussed it with my husband. I discussed it with my kids. I talked to my mother about it. And my husband said, babe, if you do it, I'll do it with you. And I said, you serious? And he said, yeah. He said, because I need to lose weight, but I don't want you to do this by yourself. So we both did it. And I tell you, it was the best thing I ever did because I can do so much more now than I could before I lost this weight. And I still got some weight to lose. And after I lose, because I'm 241, I have to lose these 41 pounds because I want to have the sleeve. I want to get the extra skin taken off my arms. I want a tummy tuck, but I have to be at a comfortable weight. Yeah, I was surprised when he said he was going to do it with me. He said he needed to lose weight, but he didn't want me doing this by myself. And then it was something we can both experience together, or what have you. So I was really shocked when he said he would do it with me. I mean, when I tell you every last one of our appointments were together, and our surgeries was the same day. His was just a couple of hours before mine. And we came home and we both took care of each other. Well, honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. He took care of me. Even though we were both messed up, he was getting up and getting me my soup and my water. Every time I tried to get up to go get something, he would say, no, babe, sit down. I'll get it. I'll get it. And I'll be like, we're going to help each other. He was like, no, you sit down. I'll get it. And, but it was the best thing that, I ever did because I don't know what size I would be right now if I wouldn't have had that surgery. But, people say it's easy. It's not easy. I'm going to tell you, it's not easy because when I woke up, I wasn't in pain. I didn't feel pain until a week later. And that was because of the gas, because you get a lot of gas. Because in order for them to do the surgery, they need to move around your organs and stuff. So they blow your stomach up with air so they can get around to what they need to get around to. So when they close you up, all that air is still sitting up in your stomach. When I tell you, it's the worst feeling because I didn't have pain in my stomach. The gas traveled up to my shoulder blades. I and in my back. I felt it in the middle of my back, like behind my ribs. And uh but the worst was in the shoulder blades. And I mean, it took once it traveled up to my shoulder blades, it took at least 7 days for it to actually move itself down to where I could pass it through. But oh my gosh, up here was ridiculous. I would have rather have the gas pains in my stomach than up in my shoulders. Now, my husband, he didn't have the gas in his shoulders, he had it in his stomach. And he was going through it from the time he had the surgery. Yeah, it was painful. It really was. I've had gas pains before, but I've never had it to where it was up in my shoulder blades. And when I spoke to my doctor about it, and she said, yeah, she said a lot of my patients said that, the gas traveled up in their shoulder blades and it was very uncomfortable. I said, the hell with uncomfortable. That hurt. That and it's like every time you breathe in, you could feel it. And oh my God, when I tell you that when it finally left my system, the relief I felt, and I've never had the gas after that. But there's one thing they don't tell you about the sleeve. And not everybody goes through this, but I know, yeah, you're not good with me either. Me either, because when I was young and used to get menstrual cramps, I used to have to be rushed to the hospital. My mother used to call an ambulance for me and my sisters. That's how bad we used to have them. We used to have to go, like the first day of our menstrual, we would have to go to the hospital and get shots to stop the pain because we used to pass out and everything. So I'm not good with pain at all. But I didn't have, any pain in the hospital. It was a week after we came home from the hospital. That's when the gas started with me. His gas started from the very moment he had his surgery. But I didn't get nothing until a week later. I mean, literally, I didn't feel no soreness, no pain. I was walking good. Everything was fine. A week later, that's when the gas traveled up to my shoulders, and it was the most painful thing I've ever felt, aside from giving birth. But the one thing they don't tell you is that you get, from a lot of people, they get acid reflux after the surgery. Um, there's only two people in my family. I've had a few people in my family that had this surgery. There's only two people in my family that don't have acid reflux. Everybody else have acid reflux. My daughter had the surgery. She had the surgery like 3 years before I had mine, and she gets acid reflux damn near every day. And it's gotten so bad since she's been pregnant. It got so bad to where it travels up, and she feels the burning in her ears, and it's crazy. I was hoping that after she had the baby, that it would, excuse me, that it would have stopped. But she called me from the hospital today, and she said that the acid reflux was acting up and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one of the side effects to the gastric sleeve is the acid reflux, and that burning sensation in your chest. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Hey, how you doing? Land of enchantment living is here. I'm getting tongue tied, y'all. How are you? But yeah, that the sleeve is terrible. It's terrible as far as the acid reflux, but I mean it did wonders for my weight. It did wonders for my weight, and I was so big, and walking up the stairs was hard, and trying to walk fast, trying to catch up. Like if I was walking with somebody, they would be way up ahead of me, and I'm breathing hard, walking behind them. So it was, and now I can cross my legs now. Like, I couldn't cross my legs before. Now I just take it and just throw it over. Like, before, I couldn't. You couldn't pay me to cross my legs before. In order for me to cross my legs, I would have needed help to get it up there and put it over there. And even if I could cross my legs, it wouldn't stand. It would just pop right back down. But now I can cross my legs all day long. Yep. But after I lose all the weight, that the last 41 pounds, because I don't want to be too small, because I don't want to look sick. Because I've been big for so long that if I lose too much weight, I'm gonna look sick. So I'm going to an even two, and that's where I'm gonna stay. And then I'm gonna have my tummy tuck and the what is it called, brachioplasty or something like that, with the arms, the excess skin off the arms, brachioplasty, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, my husband is what? It's 8:30. He'll be getting off at 9:30. I got about an hour before he gets home, and then I'm gonna go with him because we gotta go take my daughter some stuff at the hospital. She needs a change of clothing and her Mylanta because her acid reflux is acting up. So we're gonna, once he get home, we're gonna ride to the hospital, take her stuff, and then come home. Well, they said the good thing is they said his vitals are normal. He doesn't have a fever, and but they don't know exactly what kind of infection it is. So that's why he's still in the hospital, because they're running more blood tests to see exactly what kind of infection it is. They said it's not a bad infection, but they still have to know what it is so they know how to treat it properly. So right now, they feed him with the IV and the antibiotics through the IV, and they were saying that they wanted to send him home, but they felt that he would get the proper dosage of antibiotics if he was in the hospital. Because if they sent him home, he would probably get drops, and they would need it to go directly to a system, and they would need to have it administered to him on time every day, and they can't be sure that if he comes home, he's going to be getting the medicine on time as they do in the hospital. So they feel like because he's so young, he's only what, um, I think today make 9 days old. He's only 9 days old, so they really don't want to take a chance in sending him home, and he's not getting the proper dosage at the proper time. So that's why they're keeping him in there. They said, but other than that, he has no fever. He's not in any pain or anything like that. They said the infection didn't it didn't hit any major blood vessels or anything like that. That's why he's not in pain or anything like that. So basically, they just treating it, and hopefully, he'll be home Sunday. I hope, I pray that he'll be home Sunday. And my daughter, she's up there, and she's so exhausted. She looks so tired. I talked to her today on video chat, and she's so exhausted. She hasn't been able to sleep good since he came home from the hospital. And I know when she come home, I'm gonna have to take him off her hands so she can get some sleep, because there's no way she's gonna be able. Thank you, thank you. There's no way she's gonna be able to take care of him if she's not her brain ain't functioning right because of lack of sleep. So I'm gonna have to take him when when she get home. So I'll sit in the living room with him and watch some TV, and let him sleep, and give him his bottle, change his pampers, stuff like that. But at least, she'll be able to get some proper sleep. And I know once she go to sleep, she's going to sleep for at least, I would say, at least 6 hours straight. And I'm not bothering her either. I'm just going to let her sleep. Her and the baby father, they haven't left the baby not once. I think he might have left for a couple of minutes to go to the store to get them something to eat. But other than that, they both been at the hospital. And she said, I'm not leaving until my baby leaves. Thank you, your pleasure, for the prayers. And I told her I totally understand, because if it was my baby, I wouldn't be leaving the hospital either until, you know, um, my baby left. Because I've seen how the nurses are. They be sitting at the nurses station, and the babies be screaming and crying at the top of their lungs, and they don't go check on them or nothing. They just let them cry. Oh, he's just exercising his lungs. How do you know that he's just exercising his lungs? How do you know that the baby's not in pain with gas, or maybe something on the pamper is pinching him or something? You can't just assume that just because the baby's crying, they just stretching their lungs. Something could be wrong. Go check on the baby. Try to give him his bottle. Try to check his pamper and make sure that it's not sticking him, or that he's not wet, or something like that, before you just jump to the conclusion that, oh, he's just, crying, he's stretching his lungs. No, he could be in pain. He could have gas that's really messing up his stomach. Because if we can't handle gas, you can imagine what a newborn is going through. So I've seen how the nurses are with them babies, and I'm not leaving my baby. And I told my daughter, do not leave that baby at that hospital. She said, oh, I'm not going nowhere. She said, when I leave, he leaves. I said, that's right. Because you be done killed somebody up in there. But, y'all, I'm going to get ready to go because it's 8:36. So right now, I just got on this shirt and some shorts. And I got to pack up everything my daughter asked me to bring her, and get the stuff ready, so when my husband get home, I can just run outside. He don't have to come in and get me. I could just run outside and get in the car, and we just keep it moving from there. So I'm gonna get off, and I want to thank each and every last one of y'all that joined in. I appreciate you more than you realize. I want to thank y'all for having me in the group. And I love watching y'all videos. I try my best not to miss any of them. And you see, even when I was on my cruise, I was still tapping in as much as I could, because we was on at sea. We was at sea. No, don't be sorry, land of enhancement living. Don't be sorry. It is what it is. Maybe you'll make the next one. um I was still trying to chime in. I enjoyed having you. Thank you, Life of P. Um, Even when I was on my cruise, I was still chiming into y'all videos as much as I could. We was at sea, so I wasn't getting, there was no connection. But when we finally got to an island that had a connection, I would hurry up and watch another video and stuff. But I try my best not to miss anybody's videos, and or their shorts, you know. Um, I'm true to this group. I mean, I might not, I haven't been able to do a collab, but I still try my best to make sure that I'm watching everybody, and I always watch the videos all the way through until the very end. But I want to thank y'all once again for chiming in, sitting there and talking with me, y'all, having this little grown up talk. And honestly, it was really fun laughing with y'all, laughing with y'all and talking about the roles and, stuff like that. And I hope we could do this again. This was fun. Maybe next time somebody else can come up with a subject as far as intimacy or something like that, and we could talk about it and keep it. Maybe we could keep it rolling. Have um, Friday night uh intimacy talk, or sexy talk Fridays, or something like that. Maybe we get some champagne or something. But thank y'all once again. I appreciate you all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.